Hi all, Nort here. This is my Fallout 4 Vault 88 walkthrough part 2. Part 1 walkthrough was an early build, which most of the lighting, rooms and hallways were not completed. So I wanted to follow up with a new video with audio to walk you through my progress of the build. By the way, I used two glitches for this build, duplication glitch and the size glitch. Without either of those two glitches, I wouldn't be able to build the size and richness of the the vault. And by the way, I didn't use any mods, so haven't gotten into mods yet. So let's walk down to the atrium. I've done some lighting down here as well. You can see I've got some lighting that's been added. It's a little too dark in that area. Now, as we come out into the atrium, we'll see that we have a large, spacious environment. We have essentially four levels up to a ceiling, and using the atrium ceiling tiles, and then of course the fluorescent lighting for every ceiling tile that's up there. To the left, we have a security office, which leads out really in the back. There's a door that leads out to the north sector. Above that, I have a reactor room. To the right, we have a classroom upstairs, and then underneath that, we have a walkway that goes out to the northeast sector, where I have reactor rooms, research, maintenance, and hydroponics, as well as exit zones. In the center, we have our overseer's office with a little exit section as well that goes down to the east tunnel. To the right here, we have a clinic. Above that, we have a workout room, the entrance to the residential, commissary, essentially the stores, and underneath that the cafeteria. So let me talk a little bit, before we start doing the tour, a little bit about how I went about building this type of atrium. Now, so I'll take a look up in the corner up here. We'll see that the ceiling tiles are overlapping the atrium walls, or actually the atrium ceiling sections, and prefab is what they're called. So they didn't snap together too well. So, and of course I built this completely wrong. I put the atrium prefab up and the ceiling sections first, and then tried to snap in the ceiling sections to them, and of course they didn't work and they didn't overlap well. So I had to take the prefab out and the ceiling sections out, and then put in the walls and the ceiling tiles, and then come back in, and lo and behold, the prefab and then the preceding the subsequent atrium walls just snapped right to it. So it actually worked out quite well. So just if you're thinking about ever building this particular style of atrium, just some tips there. Like I said, I did it completely opposite way, and it took me forever to build. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started with the tour. Now let me start over here with the security. Security, we have just a small little office area. I really haven't done much with this room yet. I've got an exit zone that comes out to the north sector. Nothing really much going on here other than turrets and some lighting on the outside. Above the security, you'll see the reactor zone, and then I have the reactor room, and then above that we have another room up there. And I have some magical floating wires connecting points. Up here we have the reactor. Not really much to see here. Just the reactor room, a couple of machines, not really much else going on. I do have a viewing port from another room that's overlooking this room. Not sure why, but I decided to do that. Over here we have the classroom, which is Don't have any children in the vault, so I'm not sure why I have a classroom. Maybe it's an adult education center. There we go. Let's head on over to the clinic. And the clinic is just very hospital sterile feeling to it. I haven't really done anything with the walls. I'm not sure if I'm going to do much of anything with this. Cafeteria next. This is the room I've really fleshed out the most. We've got 17 settlers, and I have more than enough seating for everybody. I've got some posters on the walls, some dispensing machines, ice cream maker, of course your Nuka mixers, and Nuka-Cola and Vim dispensing machines, as well as a jukebox. And those lovely experimental coin-operated machines. And then, anyway, let's go back out. We'll take a look now up into the residential area. Oops, sorry, nope. First, let's take a look at the workout room. Workout room, I still really haven't put anything on any wall hanging items, any decorations yet. Stores, kind of got this fleshed out. We do have some items on the shelves, with, like I said, without any mods. I have to do this all manually, and it's a little bit difficult. You can see some of the items down here in the general store are in weird positions. I just am not able to pick them up off the floor and then transition them up to these different shelves. Really quite difficult. All right, so to the residential, we've got to the right we have some laboratory stalls. So this is a 1x2, and unfortunately I was not able to get a decent wall set up. It was kind of pushed right up against a room, and I wasn't able to put in an atrium wall to fill that and give it a little bit more nicer environment. The other one is a 2-stall. And I had used an atrium wall as a separator. Actually worked quite well. Not really much to see in there. Okay, let's go off to the sleeping quarters. We've got several different sleeping quarters. We've got anywhere from 2x2 up by 3x3, depending on the room configuration and the space available to me. So here we have a 2x3. And a 3x3, you can see I've given them some lockers. I haven't put any furniture in this room, but I have put some furniture in some other rooms. I just recently added on this little 2x2, which is kind of nice. Gives additional sleeping quarters. Next level is just all sleeping quarters, and here we have a 2x4 and a 3x3. 3x3, and we do have some furniture in here. Still working on those. Another 2x3, and it's really meant for a family, assuming families ever come. I've never seen a family in this game. Anyway, this is my area. This is I've got my power suits are all lined up here. I'm still working on the displays, and of course as I pick up more armor suits I'll put them in the remaining spaces. I may be expanding this, it really depends. I have a friend who's got, I don't know, got tens and tens of power armor. So this is the living space, my living space. I've got just a seating area with some music, dining area, a bedroom. Now this looks out, I believe, just on top of the vault. I should put some lighting out there and make it a little bit more interesting. And then over here I have like a library lounge type of area, which is nice and cozy. Do like that, and that goes out to the hallway. We'll come back around on that other side. So let's go back out and take a look at the rest of the quarters. So here we have some smaller rooms. This is 3x2. And again, I don't have any furniture in here for seating any chairs. 2x2. 2x2. And then now we're coming up along the wall where the east sector entrance is, the tunnels. And we're going to go down and then, oh, yeah, here's the back entrance to my living quarters. So down here I have two rooms. This is the board room. This is right over the overseer's office, which we'll take a look at next once we get done with this residential area. So use these tables, and I love the way that they just all pushed together and made it look like it's a large boardroom. If I just had like a polycom in the middle, and you know, that would be great with the projector. That would pretty much flesh this out. Anyway, off to the other little area, I have a lounge here, and it's meant really for everybody, all the residents. I've got some lit posters on the side. I've got a little seating area, and then this looks out, I believe, over the north sector entrance. And right underneath this is the reactor room. That's why there's this two-section pop-out. That's where the wires go up to the upper levels. I needed to do some wiring up in there for lighting. All right, so then, so that's pretty much the living quarters areas. I do have another level down here, which I just don't know what to do with these rooms yet, so I have no idea what I'm going to do with them. I thought possibly I could put a pool room in here, you know, billiards. Not sure what I'm going to do with this one. I think the other one has better use for it than this one. So that's the only. So there's no exit outside of for this area other than the original entrance for the residential area. So just one entrance. Let's go back down. We'll take a look over at the overseer's office, which is really meant mostly for the overseer. It wasn't really for me. Yeah, let's come down here.
Huh?
Complaining about the slot machines. Here we go. So this is an exit zone. Goes out to the east section tunnels. We'll cover that when we come around from the northeast section. This is taking us up to the overseer's office, and you know, this transition for this doorway kind of always hangs up, and I have to jump to get in there, and I'm going to have to fix that, I think. So the overseer's office was really intended for the overseer herself. There's living quarters, you know, relaxation area, and of course, you know, common area for anybody visiting, wanting to have a meeting with her. Here's the view down into the atrium, into the great room, which is awesome. I just absolutely love the space, and I love the way the atrium walls just interact with this tall ceilings, and it's just and the poles just work out quite well. Now, of course, I have all this lighting that's going on down there, and of course, if you watch my Part 1 walkthrough, you'll see everything is extremely dark. So that's why I use these street lights to help fill in the dark areas. The fluorescent lights really are just too narrow a coverage. The area is just they don't go down very far, and they don't really spread out that much. So I had to use some of the other lighting. And you'll notice in some of the rooms that I have, and I'm using wall sconces here, but in some of the other rooms I will use just a hanging light bulb. It just makes for better lighting. And then in the hallways I use the old lighting from the original build, you know, lighting items. It just gives off better lighting for the hallways. They're not so dark and dreary. Okay, let's go out to the northeast sector. Out here we have research, maintenance, hydroponics, and exit zone. And I forgot there's also a reactor out here. I need to put that item on the list. So as we drop down, of course, this is dropping down that steep drop-off where the metal stairway is. And this is an exit zone here. This just goes on top of the rooms I built. you'll see that here's the northeast sector entrance. And I just have some turrets out here. Just this is what you'd normally do if you needed to protect your environment. And then this catwalk goes out to the power treatment, or the water treatment plant. And it just dead ends down there at the wall. I wasn't really able to transition to any place just based on how I built my hallways. So kind of annoying that I can't I can't continue on over there. But let's go back into the hallway, and then I'll walk you into the research and maintenance areas, which is really the main reason for these rooms down here. And so continuing on, we're going to go down one more flight of stairs. And then here is the research center, which is essentially some of the crafting stations, as well as another power suit station and display station. You can see I have the fluorescent light bulbs, and they just work wonderfully for a nice soft light, and it's actually the coverage is just wonderful. So don't tend to use the fluorescent lightings in the ceiling tiles and in the rooms, or they just don't have any coverage. It's just really I don't know why anybody would write the code that way. So down to the next level, we have maintenance, which is really just storage. This is all the storage items that I have. Put a bunch of items in here, backup machines, whatever. And then we're on the ground floor with the stairway. Right, so we'll go next over to the hydroponics and the reactor room, and then take a tour through the east sector's tunnels. So, and as you can take a look down the hallway, you can see that these wall sconces really are industrial lighting. They really do make the hallways much more not as eerie as if you used the ones for the vault. So first we'll take a look at the reactor room, and now we're into a maintenance area. So I wanted to use some of the maintenance walkways and sections. This, of course, is our reactor. We've got some viewing ports, and then I put a catwalk out here. This is a 3-story build. I've got just a basic room up here, so I want to put another room. Hey, got space. I want to build another room. So out here in the back, it's just the top of the second level, and it overlooks the water down below and the reactor. Nothing really going on here. And unfortunately, I was not able to, close off this hallway. I wanted to really create a hallway with doors and stuff, but it's just too much interference with the rocks up here. As you can see, the rocks are coming through this staircase. So back in, and we'll take a look at this main room here. Oh, come on. There we go. So this is going to be hydroponics as I build up the requirements for food. And down below is the main hydroponics that's currently being used. And here we go. No one's tilling because I think, or gardening, because I think it's everybody was it's most likely going to bed. This is the exit zone. Now the exit zone goes into the east sector tunnels. I had this door here, and I wanted just a door that would go back through it. And in doing so, the settler AI bots ended up using this as their main path. So I ended up putting a lot of lighting and turrets in here, just to make the environment a little bit more friendlier. I've come over here to the section that you dig out, and you go in. And there's a bunch of course, a bunch of monsters in there. I've decided just to close that off. There's no really way to use it, so I just decided to close that off. I don't really need that much space, and don't want to overbuild. So as we're coming up and towards the atrium, I was able to use some flooring pieces of ceiling, which actually kind of makes the tunnel a little bit nicer through here. I do have some flooring in here that did fit, and it was kind of hit and miss as to what would snap and what wouldn't snap. And then I've done some structural supports for the rooms above. We've got another turrets that are sitting in here, some more turrets, and more supporting structures for the overseer's office and the other rooms that are above that. And then this just leads over to the northeast sector. There's really not much going on over there. And that's pretty much my build. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions or comments, please leave please post. I'll take a look at those, and I will be most likely document some of the other settlements that I've built, and we will talk to you later. All right, thanks. Bye.